Get it on.
So yeah, tonight I wanted to touch on some Luna Classic because something is actually passing that I have been kind of hoping for a while. Just want to bring that to everybody's attention. Maybe you haven't heard it. I'm sure you have, with all the coverage that is going on out there from a bunch of different YouTubers and just news. So let me just get into it. Oh, and also I do want to do the burn that I've been holding off. I will do it, actually try and do this on stream as well. So there's gonna be that. There's gonna be some Call of Duty, and of course I'll be talking about some Honeyland, just because these things that I wanted to touch on with regards to Luna Classic. First of all, the price down a little over half, 8%, into the eights again, quadruple eights. Not overly surprising, and you know, $500 million market cap. So not great, but it could be a lot worse. And I can show you what I mean by that looking at this chart. So if we can see here, this is where we're at as far as trading view goes, and I don't know why this is lagging behind. Quadruple eight, but here we have quadruple 8-9, we'll say 9. And then at quadruple 8-7 is kind of where we have a bit of a bounce off. If we scroll further back, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these little breakthroughs, but then that was like a little fake out and then back up and then down, back out. So I'm thinking that this 0.8 quadruple 8-7 is going to hold. It could get as low as 8.4, but should that break, it's not going to stop until about this 5.7 mark. So it's got a ways to drop should this give way. But if it breaks to the north, you know, 0.001 is probably where it's going to go. So, you know, dropping that 0 again. And after that, we've got a couple of steps that that we can follow along on the way up, which is quite possible with the implementation and getting to parity at the end of the month. So good news is coming in as far as Luna Classic goes. So is this buying opportunity? None of this is financial advice. Is this a buying opportunity? Maybe, if you believe that getting parity is going to help the project. And obviously it hasn't been this low for a while. You can see back here, this was August 2022. So yeah, I think once we hit parity, at the same time, there's not only that, there's also going to be the Binance burn release numbers. So it's a bunch of good news coming out all at the same time. So this could be a good low. Not saying that it's not going to go any lower, because like I said, it could go as far down as this 0.5, because it's smooth sailing on a daily candle review. So there's that. The other thing that I am happy about finally is, oh, wrong one, is this proposal. There were 4 proposals here. I'm surprised all of these are passing. I didn't end up checking into any of these because I assumed that they would just pass. But this is the one that I wanted to focus on, the increase to the 0.5% burn. If you've checked out any of my other videos, you know that I wasn't a big fan of them slicing the 1.2% burn tax all the way down to 0.2. It didn't make any sense at the time, and this little bit of an increase is a bit harder to swallow because of it. My initial thought was that, all right, if we go from 1.2, drop it down to 0.8 and see how things go. Are people, like, is volume going to increase because of that? Great. If not, then maybe reduce further, as opposed to dropping all the way down to 0.2, not really seeing that improvement in volume, on-chain volume, and then, you know, struggling to get this increase. And yeah, it kind of like a bit of a backlash for it. I am happy that this passed. I'm glad that the 0.5 is actually going to be in place. I was thinking even 0.6 2.8, but to bring it up to half the percent, I think it's going to be, I mean, it's 2.5 times where it's at now. So that's only going to be good for the burn rates going forward. Our on-chain activity is not great. As you can see, of the 23 million, 23.8 million, only about 60 million or 60,000 is on chain. So that is not good. We need to get that increased. But if this maintains itself, then at least we're getting half a percentage as opposed to next to nothing with 0.2. So yeah, that kind of covers that. And I did, as I mentioned, I did want to do the the reward burns that I typically do. So let's withdraw the rewards. What are we at as far as rewards? 5,000, 5,100. So of the 5,100, we'll do the calculation. Let's see. A full 25%. Awesome. 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 I'm not even sure if that came through. So it did. So let's do the calculation. 5,100. 1275 going to the burn wallets. So from there, we do this. And then we go to sand. 1275. All right, and there we go. 1275, doing my part to burn off some of that supply. What have you done? So that's it for that. I can't believe it hit 25, but at least you saw in real time that, yep, I'm actually burning between 10 and 25% of my rewards. Great. Anyhow, I don't think I've hit 10 once, so there's always that. Anyhow, we'll move on to some Call of Duty.